Hey guys, today is another fragrance video. I film these every once in a while, and this is really about using up my samples and sort of my way of discovering new fragrances. If you know my channel, you know that I do wear perfume quite frequently, and I do go through my perfume. In fact, I do use up about one bottle of perfume a month. Obviously, I rotate through them, so each perfume lasts me a couple of years, and throughout that time I do tend to finish them up or give them away. Some fragrances that I am a big fan of and have worn for many years stay in my collection on repurchase basis, and I will film a separate video for that. However, the purpose of these videos is to sort of do a really quick run through certain fragrances that I've been trying out in small trial size format, and what I thought of them and whether I would recommend them or not, whether I would purchase them or not. So let's start with this little guy. I've used up a couple of these. This is Dolce and Gabbana Dolce Rosa. This is a new release, this year's release, in a tempting pink pretty bottle. The same bottle as Dolce is. Dolce Original is a little bit more of a watery, fresh floral. This guy supposedly is rose. Now, on the first sniff, I was sure that it was going to be a fragrance I'd be interested in, so I kept trying it and trying it and trying it. And on paper, it smells fantastic, which is what obviously drew me to it initially and made me really, really want to love it. And I've used up a few samples of this particular fragrance. I've kept one to show you guys and to sort of remind myself of the scent as I'm speaking about it. And it is very pleasant. In the bottle, it's very pleasant on paper. It did not behave well on my skin. It became a little bit dustier, a little bit more dirty musk, and less uplifting and pleasant. It was also wearing quite densely. And no matter what concentration, I have only applied about one spray and dabbed on both, like between two hands, so it really was not very much, and somehow it's still it sort of thickened up somehow. It smells really nice and airy on paper, and it smells really nice and airy right from the bottle, but on my skin the scent really thickened up, and the accents really shifted from this floral, happy, uplifting theme to a little bit more focused on the base notes, and the base notes became quite heavy in the fragrance. So in the end, although I did like how it smells initially, it really did not wear how I wanted it to wear on skin. I would have preferred if it stayed closer, truer to what was initially in the bottle, because that's really what I was after. However, it did transform, and some people might enjoy that transformation, but for me, I did think it became quite a bit heavier and sort of deviated from the original intention, what I felt this fragrance was trying to do, so it was just a bit confusing. And I didn't like that thickening of the scent throughout the wear. Then I had worn Tom Ford Eau de Soleil Blanc. It does have that orchid undertone, but this is a really, really tropical fragrance, and I do tend to struggle with tropical fragrances, which is why I was hopeful that Tom Ford would have made a tropical fragrance that would be up my alley. Because usually I don't find them that they suit me very well. This is definitely a tropical scent. There's lots of coconut, gardenia. It's very sunny. It's a very sunny scent, so I agree with the naming. It was a little dense, and it's assumed that it's a, it's a summer scent. For me, it's a little bit dense, a little bit too heavy for summer, but that's my personal preference. I think this is a really well constructed gem. It's not my personal taste, but I think this is a very worthwhile scent to try if you do enjoy tropical scents. This is the tropical floral with a hefty dose of coconut, I think. I haven't actually looked into the notes, but I smell a hefty dose of coconut. So do check out Tom Ford Eau de Soleil Blanc if you're interested in quite dense summer tropical scents. So that one was a good one, but not for me. The next little thing that I wanted to talk about is Daisy Dream by Marc Jacobs. So I mean, I did not have high hopes for that, because especially Daisy range, but basically all Marc Jacobs fragrances in those funny little bottles, really ornate looking bottles, do not appeal to me all that much. I do prefer his exclusives range, but I normally do prefer exclusives range for pretty much any brand that I try. So Daisy Dream by Marc Jacobs, this is another toilette, didn't leave much of an impression. Daisy itself, it's all very wearable. It's all kind of watery, sweet florals. I was not impressed because I thought it was a yawn kind of fragrance. So sorry for the lovers of Daisy, for me it's a yawn. And then I received a package from Hermes, which was very generous of them to send me a whole bunch of minis to try various scents. And I have some hits and misses from there, so let's talk about those. I haven't used everything that they've sent me so far, but I don't want to leave it too long to go through some of these minis because, in fact, actually I will start forgetting about the scents and what I wanted to say about them if I just accumulate way too many. This, however, oh my god, Hermes Eau de Merveille. This one, let's start on a high note and then see how it goes down the hill. But I love Hermes. I've owned many fragrances by Hermes over the years, but Hermes, I think, produce fragrances that you either are going to love or hate. Not many of them are kind of like it's okay or it's good. I'm going to talk about one of those from their range, but to be honest with you, a lot of them I don't like, but the ones I like, I love. So let's talk about Eau de Merveille. This is an eau de toilette. I am going to be buying Eau de Merveille. I've been kind of looking sideways at it for a while, trying to figure out to get it or not to get it, and I would wear it and I would like it. Anyway, so this time around I had a few samples of Eau de Merveille, and I got to wear it a little bit longer, and I sort of made a concerted effort to actually cluster the wears to really form an opinion over several days, about a week. And I'm in love. Eau de Merveille is a beautiful, slightly powdery, extremely elegant amber-based fragrance. It is sparkly but dusty at the same time. It's full of controversy, but the notes are so beautifully blended between each other that this is a masterpiece in my opinion. Very well balanced, beautifully blended fragrance. It's amber, it's a little dense, but it's not heavy. It's still very uplifting and slightly fizzy, almost sparkling. And it is epitome of elegance. This is a very, very, very elegant scent. So if you're after something like that, please try Eau de Merveille. If you like a dry amber, you will like this. And it will be on my to buy list for the fall. I don't think it's going to be wearable for me in the summer, but in the fall, this is exactly the type of scent I would love to wear. And this one is extremely wearable and extremely work appropriate, although memorable. You know where I'm going with it. It's very difficult to do a combination of those two things together, wearable and interesting, and Eau de Merveille, it is definitely that. Then I wore a men's cologne because I do think this is very much a unisex scent. This is Terre d'Hermes Parfum. I think on my husband this would be amazing. On me, it smelled really, really nice. I do think it's a very work appropriate scent. It's a light waft of organization, mind organization. For me, this is a great unisex scent, and I do think that if you're trying to buy for a man in your life and you're not quite sure what he's going to like, this is so inoffensive, so universally likable, that Terre d'Hermes is going to be probably my advice to you, my pick, if you are going to buy somebody, some guy, a fragrance. I think you will be pressed to go wrong with Terre d'Hermes because it's just so universally pleasant. And I think most men would probably really appreciate having that in their collection. It is not a controversial scent, let's just say that. So a very good gift, I do recommend. And then we have a good scent, but a scent that was not for me. This is Eau de Rhubarbe Écarlate. This is a very cool rhubarb based fragrance. A rhubarb is not a note that you often get in fragrances, so it's very unique. I wouldn't say it's a soliflor. There's definitely a bit of an interesting blend to it, but you can distinctly feel the rhubarb and all of the salivating tartness that goes with it. So if you're a fan of tart fragrances, I would recommend you check that out. Although I do love sour scents, This did not impress me enough for me to want to buy the full size. However, I do recommend you try it if you do like sour scents. These two were horrible for me. I can imagine quite easily that many people would actually like it, but I tried two of their citrus-based scents, Eau d'Orange Verte and Eau de Mandarine Ambrée. And in both cases, I was very hopeful that these guys are going to bring me this citrusy freshness Haute Hermes to just give me a little bit of playful sourness, give me a little bit of zing. And both of these, that's why I'm grouping them together, because they both did the same thing, and I don't know why. Is it the quality of their citrus? Is there something else that they're using in their fragrance? But both of these got sweaty on me, and usually sweatiness comes from some spices and clove and just, you know, something like that. When I'm looking at fragrances, I'm looking for certain ingredients that are going to make it potentially sweaty on me, and I can't think of anything in these fragrances that would do that. But there's just a little bit of this base that does tend to turn slightly like body odor. So these two, I think if you have the right skin for it, could work very well for you. But on me, I can't even talk about these scents because there's something really funky going on with the undertone of these two. And obviously they're not expired. Obviously it's not a fault of the fragrance, it's just how it reacts to my skin. I can't even tell you anything about it because it kind of smelled sweaty on me. And I'm sure it wouldn't on everybody. Let's finish on a high note. This is another potential buy for me. I'm not as sure about this one as I am about Eau de Marfie. Pretty much that one is already like counted in. It is going to appear in my collection for sure. It's so beautiful and so elegant. So is this one, but this is a different type of scent, and I think I might need a little bit more time with it to make this clear decision. However, I do tend to lean towards, yes, I am going to purchase it in full size. This is Voyage d'Hermes. And I'm sure any fan of Hermes knows this scent. It is not ultra distinctive, but pretty clear. It is a clean, slightly steely, cool scent. This is not a warm and cozy scent. This is a cool scent. It's a work scent to me. And a workhorse of the fragrance. I think this is very, very wearable, and wearable for a particular purpose. When I find a fragrance that does what this does for me, I get a hold on it and I buy it. Because this is a work fragrance, meaning that this fragrance is focusing, collects your thoughts. It's so well edited, so clean and crisp and minimalist. Not crisp in a, you know, citrus kind of way. It's crisp in a way that clean laundry is crisp. That the clean laundry that dried outside in good sunny weather. It is very, very wearable, very clean, a little bit steely, almost slightly chilling. You know, like you're working in the office and somebody opens the window slightly and slight breeze comes in and you're chilled a little bit, and all of a sudden you wake up a little bit from your midday drowsiness. This does that, and it's rare for a fragrance to be able to do that. So I think it's very, very worthwhile to check this one out because it is a rare quality of fragrance. Definitely the ingredients are flawless. And it does something very, very nice to my brain where I feel a lot more focused in this wearing this fragrance, which is extremely helpful obviously at work. So I think wonderful work scent, really inoffensive, very much understated, but the kind of understated elegance that you can get from a clean satin designer frock. You know, you don't need extra details and you don't need the bells and whistles because the silk or the satin speaks for itself and the fantastic cut speaks for itself. There's so much editing in this particular scent. I keep raving about it. I probably will buy it, but I think I need a little bit more time with it just to fully grasp the simplicity. So these are the fragrances that I've been trying lately. There's a lot going on. Two I was really, really impressed with. It's the Eau de Marfie and Voyage d'Hermes, and two I was really not impressed with, and I have trouble even talking about it because I washed them off, to be honest. Eau d'Orange Verte and Eau de Mandarine Ambrée. So those two it did not work for me at all. 2 out of 9 is really not bad for me. I can go through 20 samplers and not find one that I would repurchase. So Eau de Marvie is a definite purchase. So this round was actually quite successful for finding fragrances that I'm extremely impressed with. Eau de Marvie is definitely number 1 in this little round of sampling. That's it for today. Tell me if you have tried any of these fragrances and how they worked on your skin. Also, I very much would appreciate if you told me about the 2 that I really didn't like. If you've tried them, what kind of experiences did you have? I'm always curious to know. That's it for today. See you guys later. Have a good day. Bye bye.